I want to welcome everybody that has signed in. My name is Ken Wojcicki. I'm a director for Kaar Technologies based out of Dallas, Texas. And we welcome you all for Kaar Tech's webinar this afternoon, which is a path to digital transformation for S/4HANA Cloud. Can we go to the next slide, please? And let me introduce our speakers today. So Vaidehi will be starting us off, and you can see that Vaidehi is 25 years of SAP experience. She has been with Kaar Technology almost from its inception and extremely knowledgeable with SAP solutions. Sukumaran, virtually the same credentials as Vaidehi. And then lastly, we have Nandeeswaran, and I had to practice his name, but he is a product architect. Has been 5 years with AI and ML experience, and 5 years of Kaar Technologies employment. So let me turn it over to Vaidehi. And by the way, this is being recorded, so we can send out the recording to anybody who requests at the end of the seminar. And I'll come back at the end to tie up any loose ends and answer any questions. So with that said, Vaidehi, let me turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ken. And good afternoon, everyone who's present here for this webinar today. And what we would be covering here today is about S/4HANA Public Cloud. And let me quickly walk you through the agenda. So we'll talk about the S/4HANA Cloud, and then we talk about the industry solutions and how the industry solution quickens the pace of your implementation. And then we would deep dive into Kaar Technologies IP packages, Cupex and KEBS, which my colleagues here will go into details. And then we also talk about how we use our DXS platform, K-turn.ai, in our cloud transformations. And finally, we talk about a couple of success stories that we have had. So we will go through each of these, and we would request you to have your questions towards the end. We would definitely have about 10 minutes where we can address all your questions. Okay, over to what SAP S/4HANA Cloud is. Primarily, it's a complete modular cloud ERP software, and it is designed for practically everybody's business need. It is powered by AI and analytics as well. And this is built for enterprises to be able to run their mission critical operations in real time. And you also have the ability to introduce new business models in the selected industry, thereby you're able to expand. If I were to tell you the key highlights of the SAP S/4HANA Cloud, primarily the industry-ready capabilities and best practices that's provided out of the box, the intelligent process automation that helps you automate the end-to-end business processes, and the personalized insights which help us decide and act from anywhere, and it also supports the compliance and all the key regulations. And because it's hosted by SAP, you have the protection of the cybersecurity protection as well. And once you have this SAP S/4HANA Cloud in place, you definitely might want the ability to be able to extend it, because there could be some white spaces that you want to extend the functionality and build your own application or use partner applications as well. So that possibility is there. And finally, you have the Fiori, and that's a much better UI than the SAP GUIs that you have seen for existing ECC customers. And all this comes as a package. And what we have on the right, where I've mentioned about the top line growth, is primarily the ability to introduce new transformative business models. And the bottom line growth there refers to the ability to transform business operations, where you're able to automate the business processes. And finally, the commit to sustainability, the green line growth, refers the ability to manage sustainability with enterprise-wide transparency and controls. Now I'll quickly walk over the various modules, because when we say it is ERP, we would want to understand at least all the basic modules that are in place. To start off, when I talk about asset management, Every physical asset or piece of equipment that you would have would require a specific attention to keep it running at peak performance. So to be able to do that, the EAM, as it's referred to, the enterprise asset management piece here, it integrates the process for maintenance planning, scheduling, and execution. When I talk about finance, you have the ability to run intelligent and highly automated finance processes that unifies transactions, and it provides you the analytics and the planning ability as well. And what you see on the screen is the individual scenarios, submodules, and the scenarios. In manufacturing, you get real-time data access and insights across all manufacturing operations, and also collaboration between design, engineering, and production teams. You also have the ability to have for the live ERP, where you can rapidly respond to changes in demand and material supply. And also you're able to synchronize with the network of external suppliers and third-party vendors. In the research and development and engineering domain, you have the ability to manage the complete product lifecycle from design to variant configuration, and also the multiple compliance that is required is also addressed. In supply chain, you have the live inventory management with transparent material flows, early visibility into sales, purchase and stock transport, and also a harmonized MRP process. The warehouse management platform is available as well. And you have embedded transportation management to plan, manage, and also carry out transports end to end. When I come into sales, you have the support for pre-sales, service order management, and customer interactions. This becomes basically one system where you have a reduced data redundancy, you have much leaner processes, and fewer business documents. And the real-time inventory information for advanced ATP, advanced available to promise order commitment dates, is also available. And then when I move on to sourcing and procurement module, it provides you centralized purchasing functions and ML-based analytics to predict consumption. And you also have real-time insights to improve supplier negotiations and material management. This is just to name a few. I'm just calling out the most important functionalities. Finally, under service, you have a seamless after-sales service experience. This is provided along with options for customer loyalty as well. And you have a platform for planning and managing technical services, and you have visibility across all service operations. So if you look at the various modules, and for those customers who are familiar with ECC, this is pretty much the entire suite with all the sub-functionalities available as well. So this is available in SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud. So why is this different than an on-premise solution? Primarily, there are two things here. One is you have the SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud, and the other one is the private. So the public cloud is hosted by SAP, and both are available through the RISE package, which I'll touch upon a little later. But with the SAP S/4HANA Private Edition, you have the option either to host it on any of the hyperscalers that's listed below, or it could be on-premise. But the biggest difference between the two products is the one on the left, the public cloud, that's available as a SaaS product. And so the implementation becomes a lot easier. The upgrades are taken care of by SAP periodically. But then it's a lot standardized as well, because the degree of standardization is much higher, because you don't have the ability to go ahead and customize it to a very large extent. Whatever the scope item gets activated, and then you get to start to use the system. And you have a very clearly defined scope, and that's based on the industry that you have selected and also the best practices. Whereas the other option of hosting an SAP S/4HANA, either on the hyperscalers or on your own premise, that gives you all the functionality that you earlier maybe had on an on-premise solution. So the configuration, the development, choice of when you do the update, all that is available. To compare the two on various grounds. So if I were to compare the scope, both of them do provide core ERP functionalities, but then and the solution on best practices can be implemented on both of them. But then you have the ability to customize the private edition a lot more. And when you go with the public cloud, which is the one defined on the top, that is generally you go with either a new installation, which is a greenfield installation, or a selective data transition. Let's assume you already have an ECC system or even a non-SAP ERP system, and you want to selectively take data and go for a implementation on the cloud. And whereas the private cloud edition, you could do a conversion as well, which we call as the brownfield migration, where you can move all the data and the configuration lock, stock, and barrel and move to the S4 HANA cloud. And with respect to the extensibility and configuration, you have a lot more. You can completely customize, develop, build side-by-side extensions. All that is possible with the private edition. But whereas that scope is a little limited on the cloud, but you have the option to have an extensibility framework where you have the option to extend through the BTP. So you have the business technology platform, and you have the option to extend your solution for those white spaces that's not available. And because the public cloud is available as a SaaS model, your payment, your licensing also differs, and you pay by the user per month. And the upgrades are taken care of. So you have quarterly fixed and mandatory upgrades that happens on your system. So you don't have to worry about the operating system or the database or the application. All the upgrades are taken care of. With the private edition, irrespective of where you host it, the updates, it's not mandatory, but then it's a good practice to stay in the mainstream maintenance window, which is about 5 years. So it is always advisable to do those upgrades, but that upgrade is completely in your control. So those are the primary differences between the two. So then moving on to how SAP offers this S4 HANA on the cloud. It is offered as a package with Rise with SAP, where you get the core, which is called the SAP S4 HANA Cloud. Then you're also provided the SAP BTP, which is the integration and the technology platform. And you have the BPI, which is the business process intelligence, and the business network, which allows you to connect to other third-party systems. In addition to this, you have something called industry packages. So depending on which industry that you're primarily on, you choose the industry package. So why is this important in terms of helping you speeden up your implementation? This cloud solutions, it is primarily the vertical solutions across industries that you get. And it provides you the ability to extend the intelligence suite with innovative industry cloud solutions, which SAP would have built, and also partners have built these solutions. And that's offered on BTP as well. So this result that you get is an open BTP platform for the customer's core business in their respective industries. And today, we also discussed two such solutions that have been built by Kaar Technologies. One is for the wholesale and trading industry, and the other one for professional services. This is hosted by BTP and is used to augment the solution provided by S4 HANA Cloud. The solution for trading and wholesale is Cupex, and it provides the supplier and vendor portal, the customer portal, both the B2B and the B2C, and also a company portal. The second half of today's webinar, we'll have my colleague Nandeeswaran, who will delve into the details very soon. And also, similarly, for the professional services, we have a solution called KEBS, KEBS, that will also be discussed in this webinar today. So what have we as Kaar Technologies done for Rise with SAP, and what is our experience here? So we've done about 10 plus Rise implementation. So with Rise with SAP in the last 14 months, we have done more 10 plus Rise with SAP implementations, and also moves from on-premise to the cloud solution. And we have an expertise in proposing the right approach and solution after having done an assessment of your existing landscape, being able to understand what you currently have in place, and also providing you the roadmap on how you can go about this digital transformation journey. And basis architects who are skilled to execute these transformations, because in some cases, if it's a greenfield SAP S4 HANA cloud implementation, not much of basis expertise required. But for those where you will have to host it on a private cloud, or you will have to move your existing ECC from your on-premise to any other hyperscaler, then that involves a transformation. So that involves a lot of basis work as well. And then the integration, because once your existing ECC, or if you're a net new customer to the S4 arena, then you would have a number of other third-party solutions, and they would have to be connected. So you would need the expertise to handle these integrations across landscapes, across networks as well. And the DB restoration in RISE primarily is how you back up here and restore it back on the RISE platform. And that we have a dedicated digital transformation competence group for the technical assessment, where we understand the existing solution end to end and work with you maybe for a 4 to 8 week period to understand your business processes and see how we can change your existing business processes to provide you the best value when you move with RISE to SAP. And also, when it comes to hosting solutions on the hyperscalers, you would need to understand how either Azure or AWS works and be able to provide you the right set of hardware to host these solutions. And also, when you do that, there are a couple of different ways in which you can to do it to optimize the cost. So that kind of expertise, and over the projects that we have done, we have touched upon each of these in different combinations, and we've done those successful projects as well. Now, as I move on to the next slide, it is primarily about how are we going to implement SAP S/4HANA Cloud implementation. I'll quickly walk through, maybe take a minute or so to walk through this complete detail. So the project methodology, if you see, it is still activate with those phases there. But here you start with a discovery assessment. You are provided a trial system which has all the configuration and the required data to understand the business scenarios that's available. And this is based on the best practice and for that particular industry that you have chosen. And this is primarily, we do go ahead and explain the whole thing to the customer so he understands what he's getting into. And it is post this that the contract is signed. So once the contract is signed, we enter into the prepare phase and you onboard the team and kickstart. And at this time, the trial system that you were currently using to showcase to the customer is translated into a test system. And from this point forward, you have two systems, the test and the production. So unlike three-system landscape in other on-premise SAP implementations, here it's a two-system landscape where in the test system, you do the development testing and also training. And then finally, you move on to the production system. And as I move on to the explore phase, we run the fit to standard workshops because these are standard functionality that's being provided. And in such of those cases, if a change is required, it's maintained in the backlog to be addressed later. And the scope items are finalized, and then and they get configured. Those scope items are finalized and configured. And as you move to the realize, you'll have to do the migrate, integrate, and test. Integration is with the other third party or the other non-SAP applications or SAP applications that you have to connect to. And for migrating, you have a standard migration template. So you get the data into that format and move it across. And when I move into testing, and possibly you might have some workflows to be configured as well. And there are test automation tools that are available for testing, and these are completely automated and recorded. So once it is automated, tested, recorded, and the same set of things could be used after every upgrade cycle. So that comes very handy, and every upgrade cycle is kind of seamless. And as you move on, any fixes, when you test it, you might have some bugs or changes that has to be done. And these changes, initially, they go into the production as a single change. And then further on, they're grouped together and you move to production. And you also have something called quality gate reviews, which is done after each phase by SAP. So that gives us the validation that it has been done right. And so it's a three-way engagement between SAP, the customer, and us. And you also have options to sign up for SAP Preferred Care, where you get direct access to the product experts to help resolve issues or understand the product a little more during the project implementation as well. And finally, in the deploy phase, the end users are onboarded and then you go live. Here, extensive accelerators are available for each activity. And if you have looked at the SAP roadmap view, those are available. And the project life cycle is very minimal here because you have a standard set of scope items and those get configured and very minimal change is done. And there are customers who would prefer to go with industry standards, with the best practices, so as not to have a very complex system. So there is definitely value add when you want to go in the standard way. And with S4HANA implementations and transformations that we have done, we've also understood how these transformations can be done in a very simplified and more efficient and quick manner. And the third product that I would like to introduce to you is K-turn.ai. That is the digital platform with which we do all our transformations. But before I jump into K-turn, I would request Nandeeswaran to walk us through Cupex and tell us how it adds value to the wholesale and trading customers who choose S4HANA Cloud as their ERP solution. Over to you, Nandeeswaran, and I'll just move on to the next slide for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vaidehi. Thank you for that. Hi everyone. I'm Nandesh, product architect of Cupex. I hope everyone is doing great. So I'm here to introduce you to a product, one of a kind product called as Cupex, which is homegrown product of Kaar Technologies. So Cupex stands for Kaar Unified Partner Experience. So this product is built to cater or to solve problems faced by, as my colleague said, like of verticals like wholesale distribution, retails, and manufacturing. So the main aim of objective of this product is to solve the problem of data disconnect or content disconnect that wholesale distribution, retail, and manufacturing phases. So to understand more about like exactly what Cupex is all about and how it exactly solves a problem, let's choose a vertical. So let's go with wholesale distributors. So if you take wholesale distributors, they have like there are different partners involved, like different parties involved. So they can sell, so there are a set of customers and they have suppliers, right? So they can sell their product directly to consumer, that is B2C, or they can sell via different other channels like via a dealer or via a commerce platform like Amazon, Wayfair, Target, Bed Bath and Beyond, or they can sell via a retailer. So there are different channels via which they can sell their product, right? They can also have like a commerce platform of their own to sell directly to their consumers. So every day, the way the business work changes, the way they sell the product changes. So they have different streams they can sell. So basically they have different customers, right? And to another part is suppliers. So they get products directly from a manufacturing plant or from a supplier, right? So they also have to manage their suppliers as well. So if you take suppliers, they have to manage this whole process of sourcing, doing the whole procurement process and maintaining a communication with their suppliers. And they also have to maintain a communication with their customers as well. So what we've seen is that companies like Ceps, a wholesale distributor, uses about like 3 to 6 disconnected third-party customized softwares, meaning they use separate solution for CRM. They have a separate solution to maintain all their products. They have a solution, so separate e-commerce solution, and they have a separate solution to manage their suppliers. They have their separate solution to manage sales. So they are using, we see that people are using like the industry, like wholesale distributor, they are using like 3 to 6 different softwares on top of their ERP, which is something that is not ideal. Our Kaar Technology has been in ERP business for 5+ years. We help our customers do digital transformation and help the business grow. We see this as a huge a detrimental point to that growth, right? So what we've done is we developed a product that integrates everything into a single backbone. So our main objective, or you can say our vision for this product, is that you should use S4HANA for your ERP. On top of that, you should use only Cupex. So this two core powerful nucleus should be your should be your center for your business. You don't have to need another third-party solution to solve your business. So this is our main aim here. So you should use S4 for your ERP and Cupex for your other partner-related activities. And one more thing is that, can you go back to the previous slide? So one more thing is that it comes with the customization, high level of customization. We understand that business are not always rigid, right? Business technology changes, business grows, norm changes. So business is not always rigid. So we cannot expect our customers to follow a set of fields in a software, right? So what we have done is that Cupex comes with a backdoor for customization. So you can have your ERP. On top of it, you can have your Cupex. And in future, if you are decided to grow your business, again, you don't have to seek a third-party software elsewhere. So this Cupex can go from there. So that is our main objective here. And as I said, it's going to have a single processing backbone connecting all your suppliers, all your customers, different channels. You can overview everything, a nook and cranny of your whole business. The main problem with the current disconnected architecture is that at any given point, an attribute will have 2 to 3 values in different system. A supplier, maybe in warehouse, it might be a different data, or maybe for Amazon, it might have a different data, or to directly selling to consumer in that portal, it could be different data. So we see that there is a different values for an attribute at any given point. So we really wanted to remove that and want to give a single data truth. At any given point, you should have like a true value for data in all the system, which will eventually help business grow in real time. It will reduce unpredicted or uncertain halt at any point in your business run. So this is what we are trying to achieve with Cupex. And as I said, Cupex comes with its own content management system, its own access portal. So all you have to do is procure Cupex. You have to send an invite to all your customers and suppliers. They'll be given a separate access to this portal. So from there, they can maintain all the communication back and forth to you. And we also provide a 24/7 chat bot that helps your customers. So one of the main focus of Cupex is to provide high quality customer service. So what better to do than an actual bot that does all the service for you. So we also provide a 24/7 intelligent chatbot that does. So here, this is nothing but like a features functionality for supplier portal and customer portal. So this is a feature set. I'm not going to go deep into this because we do have, because of time constraint, and we also do have like a really interesting lineup for you. So I'm going to quickly go to the next slide. So this one. So the key tagline for our Cupex is that it's run with S/4HANA and it's run on your BTP, and it is only for SAP customers. We have like given our expertise in SAP, we know how what a customer expects in an ERP, and SAP does better than anyone else. So we have developed this product purely for SAP customers. And you might wonder, like, given like there are multiple portals for suppliers, customers, so you might think that, okay, there is going to be a separate integration project. No, that is not going to be the case. It's going to be easily integrated with your S4 because we're going to use SAP's own services like destination service and connectivity service to connect to your S4 HANA. So this gives an easy integration. Maximum, it will be like a matter of weeks to deploy the whole solution into your BTP. And one more point is that you can leverage RISE with SAP also. Like, you will be given SAP BTP credit points, right? You don't have to invest or allocate a budget separately for the solution. You just can simply use your existing BTP credit point that you get from a RISE with SAP. And one main thing we focus here is that interconnected system, all parties involved. And one main features of this Cupex is global dashboard. This global dashboard is specifically designed for CXOs. So at any given moment, as a CXO can see all the activities that goes on to their business, like sales by channels, and what is the performance, like customers, salesperson with customers, and how we are doing with the relationship with our suppliers. Everything can be managed with this global dashboard that is especially designed with the high AI powered engine for our CXOs. And Cupex has many other features and functionality as well. But one thing that Cupex is not is like a short-term package solution. So it's not going to be a short-term package solution that you're going to use with your S4, and then later maybe once your business changes or you pivot, you're going to discard this. It's not going to be that case. From the beginning, we kept this in our mind. It's going to give you longevity. Like, as your business grows, our Cupex also grows along with your business. So that is our main aim also, one of our main aim also. And we do have like really exciting features and functionality in our roadmap. This is just a tip of a big solution or iceberg that we are trying to provide for wholesale distributor in manufacturing and retail. We do have like many features and functionalities, but I'll close with one features that we are planning to provide down the line, that is sustainability data. Today, you cannot discuss anything about your business without including sustainability, ESG, right? People or company, government, everyone is moving towards sustainability and ESG. So it become really imperative for business, especially for these type of business where they have stakes directly with the consumers. So we understand their sustainability responsibility also. So there is one feature called a sustainability data. So what Cupex is going to provide is all the sustainability data that you're going to need to do an ESG reporting or to do an ESG rating. So this is really something that we are excited about, because it's going to be almost impossible not to include ESG reporting in our financial and non-financial reporting in the future. So we are also in the future going to give something called a sustainability data for you to do easily ESG reporting and ESG rating. So yeah, I think this is it. We really wanted to work with you. So please do reach out to us. I think, yeah, this is it. I'm going to hand over the session to Vaidehi. Thank you, Vaidehi, for the time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nandeeswaran. That was really enlightening, and we definitely look forward to that. So again, KEBS is powered by SAP S/4HANA Cloud for professional services companies, and it focuses on service excellence to their customers. So I hand over the mic to Sukumaran, who would walk you over what KEBS is and how it integrates with SAP S/4HANA. Over to you, Sukumaran.
Thank you, Vaidehi. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll give an overview about KEBS. So KEBS is an industry cloud solution that is built on top of SAP S/4HANA public cloud. And it is built mainly for professional services organizations to enable them to digitally transform to meet modern day business challenges. When I say modern day business challenges, because you know that today professional services organizations are provided with a lot of challenges and opportunities. So customers always demand very quality service, best of the best people to be put on their projects. Because of these challenges, the business model is rapidly evolving, meaning there is an increased digital delivery of services, and the people working remotely are increased, and you have lot people on freelance mode, and contingency workers are involved in delivery of the services. And use of technology like AI has also transformed the way the customers are consuming the services. Now with this, how our platform can help you on this? So because of these trends, professional services organizations are forced to invest on people, process, and systems. So we built KEBS as a single business suite that brings each and every stakeholder in a professional services organization into a single platform. So this has majorly 5 pillars of services industry, starting from finance, your CRM, your professional services automation, HR, and the intelligence reporting. Then I'll go depth into each and every pillars, and I'll explain the functionalities of it. So the first one is the finance. Finance covers your AR, AP, MIS, your intercompany operations and consolidations and compliances. Then with respect to the human resources management, it covers entire hire to retire process. It starts with raising of resource request, and then your recruitment, onboarding, and then your performance evaluation. Then you do learning system management. It also covers the timesheet, leave applications, and your travel management, your payroll. So this is the human capital management solution. Then comes to the CRM. CRM covers the data to deal process. It has the contact management, account 360. Account 360 particularly helps the account managers to have a 360-degree view of the customer. So it helps in account mining and keep up the better relations with the customer. It also has lead and opportunity management to ensure that you have a predictable sales. With respect to PSA, it starts from your sales handover. to the delivery team. So it starts with the creation of the project order, and you have a project planning, cost planning, resource planning against the projects. It also has the time and expense management within the projects. Then you have the milestone completion, billing, collection management as part of the PSA. They also have the robust reporting and dashboards. So I'll also give a glimpse of some of the dashboards that we have to give an idea of what that is all about. So the first dashboard is the OKR dashboard. So this gives the CEO a single view of the entire OKR in the organizations, meaning that the CEO will be able to drill down to any department or any services within the organization and see how they are performing with respect to the strategic initiative and operations. It also drill downs to the individuals' key results, which we call it as an IKR. So coming on to the next dashboard, which is the finance dashboard, which gives a view of the current finances of the firm. It has the collection, billing, order book. You also have the revenue, cost, gross margin. It has a robust segmental analysis where you'll be able to analyze profitability in terms of region, in terms of product, in terms of customers. Coming on to the next dashboard, we have the sales dashboard, which gives the view of performance of the sales team versus the target. It also tightly integrated to the finance system, project system, and talent acquisition team, so that there is a predictability in continuous cycle within the departments. Coming on to the next dashboard. So this is the dashboard which gives you the single view of the project health. So it gives a glimpse of how the project is moving, whether it is going as per the plan or it is behind the schedule. So it covers major 3 pillars of a project in terms of quality, cost, and timeline. This also gives the complete view of the resources working on the project and how they are staffed, whether they are overloaded or underutilized. So it's in a way that it helps in the better managing of resources. With this, I'll hand it over to Vaidehi. Thank you, Vaidehi.
Thank you, Sukumaran. Yeah, so moving on, we did talk about S4HANA Public Cloud, how we go about to implement it, and then how with RISE with SAP, how we get the industry solutions and also the solutions that Kaar Technologies has developed. And while doing these projects for S4HANA Public Cloud, we also realized that we needed a single platform, a digital platform to help us in this transformation. And KTern is the brainchild of that kind of thought process, which provides us the automation, the governance, and provides us the value when you use KTern with all the S4HANA cloud products. So let me explain to you the basic functionality of KTern here. So it is a digital transformation platform. So what you see here is the different phases of a transformation project in SAP. And there are a couple of lessons and you have a lot of accelerators. So when you do a transformation, be it a conversion or a greenfield implementation or a selective data transition, there are a lot of standard accelerators that are available. But to get one comprehensive view of the whole thing and be able to add a lot more to it in terms of all the data that you collect during the assessment in the discover phase, if you can use that data to be able to run your project more efficiently and build in the project governance, bring in more business participation, and be able to record all the testing and identify the scenarios to be tested. So these were some lessons that we learned over the multiple S4HANA implementations where we said, okay, it was underestimated the testing effort, the testing scenarios were not available, the project collaboration was getting difficult, and also there were scope creeps when we had to redo or extend what we had already promised. So considering all this, KTern was built around all this learning that we had. And what you see here is KTern has multiple functionality. I'll just talk through a couple of areas. So the primary one that I would like to mention here that would align with the S/4HANA Cloud is the project planning and governance. So you have a complete project collaboration. All the team members who participate in the project, along with the IT SMEs of the customer, they all log into the portal to be able to manage the project with workflows and to collaborate with SAP and record the results of all issues that would arise during the project. And as you go through the project, you definitely have to plan for the cutover, which you would do in the final production. So as you progress from one system to the other, the ability to maintain the cutover script on the cutover cockpit and automate what best can be done. And with respect to testing, if you're an existing ECC customer, being able to identify the scenarios and run automated tests. So that would save you a lot of effort, time, and money in terms of the testing efforts as well. And sign-offs at every phase, because every phase, as you progress through the project, you have a digital sign-off that you're able to do. And most of the information that you would collect during the discover phase as part of the assessment is getting used during the implementation of the project itself. And you have quality assurance and sign-offs at every phase. You have better collaboration. And you also have go-live audits, and you're able to manage the change management also better, which is more relevant for the S/4HANA on-premise or the private edition. So we in all our projects we use K-turn.ai, which provides provides additional accelerators to what we already have, provide these testing scripts, does the process mining, and with that we have been able to reduce the timeline of projects to at least to about 40%. And talking specifically about conversions, we also have the custom code remediator. You have automatic custom code remediation that can be done on an ECC system, because code that has to move from, when you move from ECC to S4, the custom code has to be remediated. So, and this could run into thousands. So an automatic remediation engine is available that also helps you do that. So irrespective of which transformation method that you use, KTern is the tool of choice across platforms, and we are able to do our projects a lot better. So finally, I would like to talk you through one of the S4 cloud implementations that we did for the professional services industry in the US. And the solution was we had both SAP S/4HANA Cloud and the analytics SAC. And primarily, the challenges that we had is that there was no proper accounting system that was initially in place, and it was required to continuously monitor the financial records of the business. One integrated system across legal entities was required, and there were not real-time insights not available, and there were a lot of process silos, data duplication and redundancy, and mismatch in information in the reports. And so these issues that were found in handling the financial data, the planning, all this, we based on our assessment, we realized that implementing SAP S/4HANA would definitely take all these issues that the customer is currently facing. So once SAP S/4HANA was implemented with best practices, and it had standard adherence to the industry standards. And one thing that I failed to mention earlier is that with SAP S/4HANA, the entire interface is on Fiori. The one SAP S/4HANA Cloud, the complete interface is on Fiori, so it's a lot easier, and the way you transact business is a lot different and more intelligent. So post implementation, they had on-demand real-time analytics, and what was they had the ability to move from CapEx to the OpEx model, and managing their processes in S/4HANA with a centralized business process and accurate financial information, and being able to access all this information from any device. And the transition and the project timeline was very less compared to on-premise implementation, and overall operational efficiencies definitely increased. And we've done multiple S/4HANA cloud implementations in the past. And what we would like to leave, the thought that we would like to leave you with here is to understand, be able to understand what SAP S/4HANA Cloud is, what are industry solutions, and how the white spaces in SAP S/4HANA Cloud can be augmented with solutions that we have and also other partners that might have, and how we go about to do an implementation. And all this package with Rise with SAP brings a lot of value.
Thank you, Vaidehi. Thank you very much. Thank our speakers today, Vaidehi, Sukumaran, and Nandeeswaran. Thank you very much for your time. Okay, well, again, thank you very much. On your screen, you can see the people for Kaar that you can contact any of us for any questions or follow-up you may have. And other than that, I want to thank everybody for your time, and please watch for our next webinar, and then we'll close the webinar. Thank you all for your time.
Yeah, thanks everyone. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to connecting with you for those people who have requested one-on-one sessions. Thank you so much.